What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Ask A Fence Gal Fri-YAY.
Fri-YAY indeed.
We had a big vote last week, as you guys are well aware, and Fri-YAYs won it.
Yeah.
Fridays were on a comeback. But
Yep.
we cut off voting at 1 o'clock, and Fri-YAYs had it. So if you voted for Friday, just blame the people that voted Fri-YAY. It's not up to us.
Sure.
We were fine with it either way. I mean, Fri-YAY was my favorite, but we would have called it Friday. I mean, this is your guys' show more than anything. Yeah. We just hang around and talk to a camera.
Yeah.
Looks pretty. If someone were walking by here, it'd look pretty silly. Just like staring at a wall and just talking to it.
Yeah, kind of playing like news anchor.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It reminds me of the Discovery Center. Because they have the newsroom where, as kids, you went in there and you acted like you were on a newscast. This is pretty much exactly like that.
Yeah, except that there's no one working the camera. So that was one of the things. So
That's
someone
true.
had to work the camera.
That's true. Yeah, one of the stations was working the camera. Yeah. So
I'll have to think through that one.
I'll have to get one of the nieces up here or something. That would be
awesome.
That'd be something. Be something. Let's say hi to folks.
All right. Here we go.
Joe Robles.
Joe.
Now, all right. Sarah does not need any help with this CEO business. It's CXO, Customer Experience Officer, CXO. We made that clear around the office, just so everybody knows.
Doesn't sound like it's very clear to me.
Hasn't stuck yet, but we're letting people know.
Hi, Joe. How's it going?
Fence Princess.
I like that. I like it.
Well, Dan Blanc and Dylan Blanc aren't going to like that too much.
No,
they're the Fence King and Fence Prince of Louisiana. Yeah. So maybe you could be Fence Princess of Missouri.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Kind of like in the olden times, there were lots of princesses.
Yeah.
I mean, they were related. And they're the prince of their land.
Of their land. So you're the Princess of Missouri.
Yeah. Ooh.
If there's someone else that declares himself the princess, do we have to go fight them?
Yeah, I think it's a duel at that point.
Okay.
But we could tell them they're like the Duchess of fencing.
Duchess
I like
of
that. That sounds like so much more like, I don't know, dominant than...
No, this is right. This is right. Because you had like the royal family of the land.
Yes.
But then they would appoint different like governors, duchess and duchesses of different areas within that land.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you can anoint duchesses of like you are now the Duchess of Fence in St. Louis.
I like that. Yeah.
We're on to something here.
I love it.
That was kind of like the original franchise model, wasn't it?
I guess so.
More or less.
Your main ruling company, and then sure.
Check that out.
All right.
Candace is with us. What is up, Candace? Candace is our retail rock star there in the office. If you're coming in to buy any sort of fence materials, Candace is the lady that will absolutely take such good care of you.
Yep, she's awesome.
Nailing it.
And Jim too. Jim's in there. He's joining us as well.
Right, Jim.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome, Dad.
He's our commercial rock star, though.
Yeah.
He helps a lot with retail on like those oddball questions.
Connoisseur?
Oh, commercial connoisseur. Great.
I like that.
As soon as we get back, now Jim's going to be there waiting for a pay raise. He's like, well, I did get upgraded to connoisseur.
He's going to have his name cards already replaced. I like it.
Yes.
Hello, Jake.
Jake, how are you? Welcome to the broadcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
So glad you're with us.
Hey, Jackson.
Hey, Jackson. How are you, buddy? He's commandeered Taylor's phone, and his typing is actually very well. He does very good.
Wow.
Very good job, Jackson.
Ahead of his time.
Spelled words correctly and everything. Yeah. What do you know? This kid of mine is pretty smart.
Not napping.
All right, listen. So we're not doing naps anymore.
Oh.
We are doing quiet time now. Because the last time we gave him a nap, he comes downstairs at like midnight. He says, I'm still not tired. I want to play. Yep. Guess what? We're done with naps. Yep. Nap time is over. We're now doing quiet time.
Okay.
So as long as the volume is down low enough right now, this is okay. This is acceptable.
Cool.
That's right.
All right.
What is up, Jackson?
Yes. Hello, buddy. All right. So this is Sarah. She is one of my really good friends. We also worked at Bass Pro together.
That's right.
And we had a lunch group. They still have it, unfortunately, without me. So really good to see you guys here at the lunch hour.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hope you're having a good lunch.
Yeah.
Let us know where we're having lunch at.
Yeah.
That's kind of good information. Or is it a
Sarah's
set place?
involved, I'm guessing not Hong Kong Inn. Normally it was Hong Kong Inn on Fridays. But I'm assuming not. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
Okay. Now don't click that off. We're going to talk about this.
Okay.
Because this is, so if it's not Hong Kong Inn, where is Sarah's preferred cashew chicken joint?
Oh, I don't think it's necessarily the actual like place. I wonder if
okay.
Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong. If it's the cuisine, is that what it is?
She just doesn't like. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's not in on cashew chicken.
But okay, and Hong Kong Inn is it's my favorite.
Well, they have,
it's a particular style. It's a little bit lighter, a little more flour based in the sauce, you know, that sort of thing.
Well, because there was a pretty big argument growing up again with Hong Kong Inn versus Shanghai Inn,
which was
I was team Hong Kong. Yeah, 2 blocks away. Yeah. I was team Hong Kong.
Same.
Our
mom was not.
No, mom was on team Shanghai. Well, which to be fair, like that came from like grandpa and all them. They like Shanghai. They had to go to Shanghai. Well. Yeah. That's right. So we branched off into Hong Kong, which I mean, Shanghai's not bad. It's just not the same.
No, it's like I would eat there like second after Hong Kong.
Yeah, it's just like if Hong Kong disappeared, I would eat at Shanghai. That's fine.
You would take the long venture 2 blocks south.
I would. Well, it's north. It's 2 blocks north.
Well, Shanghai is south of Hong Kong, right?
Nope.
Oh no,
Shanghai
you're right. It is. It's north of Division.
It's over there by Cardin's.
Yeah.
Or what I don't think is that Cardin's anymore. I don't think it's Cardin's anymore.
I think now it's like a storage place.
Yeah, I think you're right. You're right.
It's also worth mentioning that not all Hong Kong Inns are related.
Found that out the hard way.
Yeah, a couple times.
I showed up fully expecting the Hong Kong experience that I have been accustomed to.
Yes.
And you're correct. It is not the same.
Not the same. Not even close.
No. They should not use that name.
Yeah, they shouldn't be allowed to.
We should probably let them know.
I'm gonna skip down here. Yep, that makes sense.
Cusco.
Yeah, Cafe Cusco on Commercial Street. I almost said that was like your place, like if you didn't go to Hong Kong Inn. So
what kind of fare does Cafe Cusco serve?
Is it Mediterranean?
Correct
me if I'm wrong.
That sounds right.
Somewhere
that sounds
there.
Right. Cusco, yeah,
it's good.
Okay. All right. Well, hope you guys are having a good lunch.
Ooh, first granddaughter of fencing. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right.
I was trying to like think through if anyone else had been involved, but no. Not really in the fence business.
Nope, not really. First granddaughter of fencing.
I like it. All right. Well, hello. For those of you that are just joining us, type in, say hi.
Yeah, let us know you're here. Drop a fence question in. Last week, at least half of this broadcast was fence related.
Believe it or not.
So we're doing big things here. We don't say ask a fence gal for nothing.
That's true.
We really do want you to ask the fence gal some questions.
Yeah.
Till then, we've got some things to talk about, and I actually don't even tell Sarah what it is. I just think up things and let her just spur of the moment answer them.
I like it.
Let's talk about the price of fence, specifically the price of steel materials in fencing.
Yep. So if you remember correctly, a few months ago, we actually had this discussion about how like wood was increasing, but steel had stayed the same, and now is not that case.
Nope. No, wood is coming back. It's not. Yes. It hasn't pulled back completely. And so the example I use is a 4x4x8 pressure treated pine post used to be $7.50, $8 a post, thereabouts. It went up to $19, $20 a post if you could find it.
Yeah.
It's pulled back to $10 and change.
Yeah.
So still more, as a percentage, still significantly more than it was, but not $20 a post. So that's pulled back.
Yeah. But then, so some of your cedar material has increased too.
Yeah, that's right.
So as far as wood goes, we kind of have that where I think if I'm knocking on wood, I'm hoping it's sort of plateauing is what I hope. But steel is not. Steel is increasing by the week. Even we had another distributor that called me last night, and turns out I have things that you don't know about too, Joe.
Oh, okay. That's good.
But he was mentioning that it's a week-to-week basis for them too. And they don't, it's kind of a trickle effect, right? So their suppliers and their manufacturers aren't telling them until they get their supplies. And unfortunately, that trickles down to us, which trickles down to the customers. So we're just seeing a lot of increases over steel. You could probably talk a little more about like the percentages, but it's been a pretty big jump in the last month. Yeah.
Well, so one of our suppliers, actually they're a manufacturing wholesaler. They sent us a letter. Gosh, it was October of 2020. saying to expect a 5% increase in November and then again in December, and then an 8% increase in January, which those are cumulative. So if you add them up, you get 19%. And then this week we got a letter from another one of our suppliers. They're not a manufacturer; they're just a wholesaler, saying that they're going up, depending on the product, anywhere from 20 to 30%.
Yep.
And it's specifically metal. Your ornamental aluminum and steel, your chain link fittings, your post, your rail. If it's metal, it's gone up. And their announcement was retroactive. So we got the announcement on. I posted to the Facebook page. I want to say it was on Monday or Tuesday, but they made it effective retroactively to the previous Friday. So any bids after that point, are essentially not null and void, but you add, they need to be rebid to add the percentages into them. So, and then we keep hearing it. We were talking last night on the YouTube channel. Did a live with Caleb Roth, standstill expert, and a lot of the same things on metal. But his point too was you need to watch the price of stain because it's an oil-based stain.
Yep.
So, while it's not diesel, it is an oil derivative. So, when you watch the price of the pump go up, you can assume that the raw price is also going up, not by the same amounts, but
sure,
the effect is the same. So, price of stain could likely be going up. Just as he said, he hasn't seen any increases yet, but just know that that's on the horizon. I think in talking with another steel supplier, and they're in the same boat, they're 20 to 30% increase. They were saying that, so they were a manufacturer as well. Their raw deliveries in third quarter and fourth quarter were something like half of what they needed to produce to meet demand. So their point was, and they were still working off second quarter supplies. So they haven't even gotten into that yet. And so their point being, expect more increases and expect shortages. Just because they didn't get as much raw ore in as what they needed. So, it's going to get kind of crazy. I think we might be looking at, in summer of this year, which the timing there is incredibly unfortunate, but summer and fall of this year, I think we're going to start seeing shortages in steel similar to what we saw in wood last year.
Do you think any of that, I mean, I understand about kind of the raw ore being a supply issue, but do you think any of that was also caused by the fact that wood was so expensive that people were looking for like alternative priced?
Yeah, I think it's compounding problem. I think, so because wood either wasn't available or the wood that was available was so expensive, it pushed folks into other materials. So, so pressure treated pine was really what was in short supply. Cedar has some supply issues, but not nearly like pressure treated does. The supply chain is a lot shorter on cedar, but because of the treated pine shortage, it pushed that market into cedar. Well, and that pushed cedar into a shortage situation. So I really feel like that is then pushing into maybe not necessarily the chain link. Typically a client that wants a wooden privacy probably wouldn't be in the chain link market, but it could push them into an ornamental steel or aluminum. I think that's what's happening there. And I mean, here's the thing: is business construction is still up. So business construction, typically a commercial fence is going to be a 6-foot chain link with 3 strands of barbed wire on top. I mean, it's a completely steel, system. So, you see all these buildings going up here locally in Republic. We've got the Amazon facility going up. And you want to talk about a massive amount of red iron, like just raw, just steel. I mean, it would be train loads of steels out there, I'm sure. And they're building, I think I read that they're building like 15 of those right now at the same time throughout the country. So that's going to be part of it. That compound is obviously going to be fenced, not by us, but it will be fenced by someone who will be buying by the truckload wire, post, rail, and fittings. So, and that's just in our market. So you can imagine the building going on in other markets that's soaking up all of that, supply. So I think that's going to put us in a position, this summer, I think we'll be looking at steel shortages, which is unfortunate because, the wood privacy fence that we prefer to build is cedar pickets, cedar rails on steel posts. So that's going to kind of put us in a bind there. Treated pine posts not going away, but being so incredibly expensive that they weren't worth buying was fine because our preferred is a quality, fence, cedar on steel, not a problem.
Yeah.
Well, we might get into a problem.
Yeah.
Just because I wouldn't feel comfortable swapping, steel post for treated pine.
Sure.
I mean, it's just a completely different value proposition. What we got into on a few projects was when the treated pine post, dried up. Yeah, dried up. We just replaced those with steel posts.
Right.
And the customer got an upgrade for free. We didn't charge any difference in that. Just because at the time treated pine posts were above our price for steel posts. So they got a nice upgrade there. But I wouldn't, you can't flip that. You can't substitute a steel post for a wood post. It's just not the same.
Well, no, you'll never be able to have a lifetime warranty on a wood post.
No,
doesn't matter what kind of wood.
Not ever. And so Caleb and I had an interesting discussion last night about the Post Saver product. I don't know if we talked about that much.
Yep.
So it has a 20-year warranty on it now. It's going up to a 25-year warranty.
Okay.
So, but to your point though, that's still not, steel has a lifetime warranty.
Sure.
So is it similar? Somewhat. It's 25-year warranty, 20 to 25-year warranty is still significant.
Yeah.
But it's still not steel.
It's not.
From a strength perspective.
But that's another good alternative if we do run into shortages where we're just not able to get those steel.
Yeah.
I feel good being able to offer a good quality product.
That's right.
That's right. So
like we got another comment.
We got quite a few. All right. Let's see here. Hi, Mandy. Welcome.
What's up, Mandy?
Happy
Speaking
Friday
of
to
stainless steel experts.
Yeah.
What is up, Mandy?
I love it. Hello. Thank you for joining us.
That's right. Well, me, but also sir.
Potato, tomato.
Did you say potato, tomato?
Yeah.
Those two things aren't alike at all.
I don't know, Jake. That's a good question.
So, Jake, I don't think it is.
Yeah, I almost don't either. I think it's going to be kind of a newer normal.
Yeah.
If anything.
I think that's right. I think it's a style that's here to stay just because there's so much demand for it.
Yeah.
And it's becoming so commonplace. Now, since we prefer the Postmaster steel post, we don't install a lot of horizontal just because that means we need to use a 2x material instead of a 1x.
Yep.
But I don't see it going away. I mean, I think it's like anything. It got enough of a push. It became mainstream enough. I don't think you'll see it go away.
No,
I mean, it's a nice style.
It is, and it's unique. It's
it
unique
is.
enough that I don't think you're ever going to see every fence have a horizontal fence ever, just because of the cost.
No,
but I think it's enough of kind of it pulls your eye away from a lot of the mundane.
It is, and it looks more modern.
It does.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, and here's how I view it, Jake, is when you look at housing styles, you still see classical houses being built. You still see modern. You see all these different houses being built based on taste.
Yep.
I think that's the same way with fence. I think horizontal fencing style is just something that you add to your toolbox that you keep in your pocket, and when it comes up, you build it.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know that it'll go away.
I don't think so either. And I think too, as vertical siding becomes more and more popular, I think you could see horizontal fences. I mean, just because it's something different.
Just a contrast. Yeah, I bet you're right.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Well, actually, so I've got a friend that does garage doors, and he was I didn't even put two and two together. He was talking about this either last week or the week before on his personal Facebook page about the cost of commercial garage doors, going up. Yeah, I mean they're steel. Well, I guess some are aluminum, but I mean the big commercial doors are going to be steel.
Yeah. Well, even the security doors. You think of how thick and heavy those are. I can only imagine.
Yeah, I'd say anything steel. And so that's the crazy thing, guys, is think about how many things in your life are made of steel or a steel derivative. I mean, your vehicles, for one. I mean, you think vehicles are priced crazy right now? Wait till we get to a steel shortage.
Yeah.
And then see what the price of vehicles does. Yeah, it's everything.
I mean, it's tools. It's all kinds of things.
I think, it's tools. I think you'll probably see it. Affect more of the outlying markets. So, my thought goes to like delivery, to the delivery supply chain. I mean, these things are getting delivered by trucks, trailers, trains, planes, whatever.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a fiberglass plane or train rolling around lately.
That's true.
I think a steel shortage could really hit the market as a whole, like our economy as a whole.
Yeah.
Just because how's this saying go? Like if you bought it, truck shipped it or something like that.
That's true.
So you get the price of new trailers, new tractors, you get that price going up combined with the price of fuel going up.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah. We could be in for a little bit of sticker shock here in a little bit.
Whew.
Material costs seem to have increased across just about every industry: wood, metal, PVC. The usual 5-ish% increases have become upwards of 20. That's right, or more in some cases. How's that impacted you guys with residential work? Well, I mean, the cost of fence is going up.
Yeah.
We have literally. So here's how the process works in our office. I'll pull back the curtain a little bit, if you will. So the material truck shows up. Like today, one of our supplier trucks showed up. Typically it's Thursday, but because of the snow Wednesday, it impacted. Okay. Shows up Friday. When the truck shows up, we get our paid invoice for it. So that then and only then do we find out how much we just paid for the things on the truck. There's no more of let's price it out for you. There's no more of any, because price quotes are good for 5 days. That's it right now. It used to be price quotes were good for 30 days. They've brought that back to 5. So anyway, it's a new and exciting experience each and every week when a truck shows up to see what we actually paid for the materials versus what we thought we were going to pay. And so then I spend about 30 minutes redoing all of our price books, re-uploading them onto, we have Slack for the whole team to have. We had to put out new price books, 33 pages per price book every single week, just because the prices are changing so drastically. In one case, it was, oh man, this is going to test my brain power here. We had it was like a 4-inch Schedule 40 post. Typically our cost on that is $50-$60 ish. It came in, we brought in a couple today in the $90 range. So imagine that. You thought you were going to pay $50 or $60 for something, and then you don't even get asked about it. You just give them your credit card when you order it, and then when they send it to you, they're like, "Oh yeah, I went ahead and charged you $90 for that." That's great. Okay, good to know. I'm sure glad you told me that. So that's, we're seeing these steel increases come through. So anyway, Mandy, to answer your question, this affects the price of everything. The price book gets readjusted every single week based on the current price of whatever goods are on the truck, and that trickles down to the installed price.
Yep.
I mean, to get to an installed price, we take the materials plus the labor plus the overhead, we get the retail price. So if any one of those components goes up, the end price goes up. So lately it's been materials.
Yeah.
It's, couple that with, the proposed minimum wage increases, and then your labor starts going up. And here's the thing. Let's talk about this. We talked about this a little bit last night, Caleb and I did, about minimum wage. So now we don't pay any of our crew, any of our team members minimum wage, but you better believe they're basing that on something. Sure. And let's talk theoretical numbers. So say employee A is paid $20 an hour. Well, and minimum wage is $10 an hour. You'd better believe if minimum wage, so they're getting paid double minimum wage. Minimum wage goes to $15 an hour. Well, they're going to ask for somewhere around $30 an hour.
Yeah.
Because they're used to getting paid. They've placed their value at twice the amount of minimum wage. I mean, you need something to peg your number to base it on.
Absolutely.
And I think so. I mean, so we're currently being hit by material increases. I fully expect that we're going to have to look at labor increases sometime this year to try to address for that. Now, the state of Missouri has already started increasing their minimum wage, so we're already feeling that a little bit. But yeah, so Manny, to answer your question, I mean, the price of fence for us right now changes week by week.
Yeah, and I'll say that it's also like what I've seen more like the residential side is a pivot in kind of the products people are buying. I think we have put up more ornamental in the last 3-4 months than we had pretty much all last year.
Yeah.
Just because.
Would you say more aluminum? It seems like.
I would say maybe 60-40.
Okay.
Just
steel
because,
to aluminum or aluminum to steel?
Aluminum to steel.
Okay.
So aluminum is really cost effective, but we have a manufacturer of steel products that one of the companies that we purchased from that actually makes it in house, and so we're able to get it really. I think I bid a job yesterday, and just roughly 200 feet, steel came out at $1,000 more. than the aluminum.
Well,
so we're seeing right now from that said manufacturer, we're seeing a little more increase in the aluminum because they can't control a whole lot of that.
Yep.
Whereas steel, they probably have a little more in stock, so they're able to be a little more competitive with it.
For now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For now. But I think, I think it's going to be interesting to see where I think we'll see more people pivot away from chain link and go towards wood, which is the opposite of what happened this last year.
I think you're right. I think you'll start seeing, because the market went away from wood into other markets. I think you'll see this year will be the inverse of that. I think you'll see them come into wood from other markets.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably specifically vinyl. Vinyl being a petroleum-based product, and whether it's regrind or what, vinyl is in its raw form a petroleum-based product. Yep. So you'll start seeing the price of vinyl follow probably what treated pine did.
Yeah.
Skyrocket and then become unavailable.
Yep.
So, which is then going to push folks into the wood market, because, I mean, staining, Mandy's with Stain Steel Expert, stain technology has gotten to the point where you can really preserve and prolong the life of a wood fence.
Yep.
Where, one of the selling points of vinyl is maintenance free, which is a bit of a misnomer. It's not actually maintenance free.
Right.
On the north side of a fence, it's still going to grow mold and algae. You still got to clean this thing. But, you're not going to have rot and insects, and I understand that. If you stain a fence well, using a quality product, you're also getting those same benefits.
Yep.
You're prolonging the life. You're preventing rot and insects, that sort of thing. Well, you probably won't repel insects, but rot for sure.
Sure. Yeah.
UV damage.
Right. Absolutely. And especially when you couple that with one of the newer programs that we implemented within the last couple of years was a service contract, basically of maintenance, a maintenance contract, more or less, where and we did have a couple people that said, that's awesome. I don't want to restain my fence myself. I don't want to do any of that. And so we come out, we clean it, we help them preserve that. And so I think we're going to see a lot more people go into the pre-stained kind of that service route, because that's still going to be less expensive than going to a vinyl or, anything that's going to inevitably increase. Yeah,
absolutely. You could get into a fence built with cedar materials on steel post, pre-stained for less than vinyl.
Yep.
And have relatively similar results, or, as far as lifetime and maintenance and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's how we're going to be impacted, how residential work will be impacted, man.
Yes. Thank you. That was a good one.
Rowdy Bowdy is in the house. What is up, John?
Welcome.
John was on my live broadcast last night.
Yeah.
2 for 2 on talking to John this week.
I like it. John's on
What's up, bud?
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
Thank you for supporting us.
Right.
Appreciate you. Oh, we got Miss Stephanie.
What's up, Steph? How are you?
How are you?
But I would prefer if you said hello to me first and then to Sarah, just next time.
That's all right. We're okay. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Lori.
All right, Lori, same thing. Yep. Hello, welcome. But when you do say hello, we do prefer you to say hello to me first and then to Sarah. When I say we, I do mean like a royal we. Sarah would probably tell you otherwise, but yeah.
Yep. Oh. Boom. Boom.
So John,
like a mic drop.
John is a simple man. He likes to just action-pack his words and just one-word answers. Boom.
Yeah.
That's only because you can't put meme in these comments.
Oh, I do like a good meme or a good.
John's pretty good at finding memes.
Is it a GIF or a GIF?
Yeah, actually, so I'm showing my age. It's actually not a meme. Yeah, they would be GIFs. They would be GIFs, the ones that move.
Those are good. Yeah.
The moving memes.
Yes.
Like that's exactly what I meant.
All right. Oh, Lori said hello again. I like it. 2 for 2. Hello.
Welcome. But Lori, again, please say hello to me first, and then Sarah. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good.
All right. I'm going back up here. I'm not saying so decks now.
No, so we don't do decks. We, for a very, very brief moment in time last summer, experimented with decks. Because you would think that decks and fences are very similar.
How different could it be?
Staining them's pretty much the same. It's not. It's not at all. We went and got trained. We got the guys trained, certified in it, and we started working on them, and it's not the same world at all. We actually have a painting company, Ozark Mountain Paint, which is who we refer deck staining out to. They do an incredible job. They actually stained my mother-in-law's deck.
Yeah, Looks amazing.
So, yep. If I trust them with my mother-in-law's deck, you can trust them with yours.
Yep. And
I've always said that.
They use the same stain that we use, the Stain and Seal Experts.
Stain and Seal Experts,
yeah,
that's
they
right.
have a deck
line.
Line.
Yeah, they have a deck stain and seal line.
Yeah, which I am actually getting ready to use this weekend.
Oh, all right.
I'm gonna use that cedar tone.
I do like that cedar tone a lot.
Yeah.
It is a nice stain.
Awesome. I'm excited. So no, but we do have the Ozark Mountain Paint Company that we refer to. We're awesome. So absolutely give it. Actually, if you want to send a note either on Facebook or not, I can get you Garrett's number. So you can call him because he may have something similar to that with a service plan.
Yeah. Garrett's a super good guy.
He's awesome. Hi, Chad.
What is up, Chad? Thank you for addressing us correctly. Myself first. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
It's probably just alphabetical order, or like age before beauty.
Oh. Well, guys, that's the show. So glad you guys joined us.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, memes and GIFs.
Yeah. Big fan of those. Big fans. Sometimes you just can't find the words,
That's right.
But there's a tiny dancing raccoon that can do the same thing, like it can express your love.
Can we please not talk about raccoons on the show? I'm going to explain this for a minute, in a minute, but for now, we will not talk about raccoons at all, in general, until I tell this story. And then once I tell the story, we're done.
We're done. Okay. No more.
But I want to reply to all the comments first, because this could get lengthy.
Okay, I will. Absolutely. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're full disclosure, breaking news. Listing my house here on February 11th is the official date.
Okay, we've got a date now.
A listing date. Yes.
Very good.
So they're coming out on Tuesday to take pictures and do all that. So we kind of just been sprucing up the place. We put some mulch around, that sort of thing, re-graveled, did that. So one of the last steps, I have a very small deck. And so I was sitting there and I'm like, you know what? We got 3/4 of a tub of stain over there in that cedar tone. Because I told myself, I said, listen here.
Cedar deck?
Yes, cedar deck. Yes.
Okay.
I said, I'm not doing it if we don't already have it. If we have it, it's meant to be. If we don't, I don't, I like pecan, but it's not the same.
Nope.
I needed that cedar to go with the red. My house is red. So I'm like, it helped pop.
Okay. Well, pecan has more red in it than cedar.
That's what I mean. Like I didn't want it.
Okay.
I didn't want the red tone because my house
to be
red.
Overwhelming.
Yes.
Understood.
Yes. So I moseyed on up the steps, and what did we have? Cedar deck.
Meant to be.
And it's like
fate.
Just enough.
Like, fate said that deck will be cedar.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's coming up here soon. So I will absolutely send you pictures, Mandy.
Very good. What you ought to do, here's what you ought to do. If they're coming to take pictures, like professional pictures, you ought to ask them, hey, as a favor, could you take a couple specifically of the deck?
Oh, they would love that. Yeah. And we're actually getting a drone guy out there too.
Oh, really?
So get some drone footage, maybe some close-ups. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's a good idea. I like that.
Don't even read that one out loud. Thank you. Moving on. Any new innovative tools or installation methods coming out, like hidden fasteners or helical pier posts? All right. So Jake might be referencing. So on last week's live on the YouTube, on Joe Everest, the fence expert YouTube, we looked into helical piers. We will not be doing helical piers. It takes specialized equipment, obviously, but these things are like $100 a pier.
Yeah.
So I don't know that would be economical to try to install, because that's just the pier.
Yeah.
And then you have the cost of the post on top of that.
Yeah.
So, you're exchanging a $7 or $8 bag of, Quickcrete type concrete in exchange for $100 post that you have to buy specialized equipment to install.
Yeah. Don't they typically use that in foundation work?
Yeah. So foundations and decks.
Yes.
So someone had asked about a type of product. It wasn't Jay. Someone else had asked about a specific brand of product. I don't even remember what it is. And we just went on. We did a screen share and jumped on their website and started checking it out. There's 0% chance, but for like large decks or something like that, it does well.
It's cool technology.
It is. Yeah. So there is another post that we're probably going to do a video on the YouTube side is Oz post, OZ post. And so what these are is it's basically a giant spike that you drive into the ground. This thing's like 2 foot, 3 foot long.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's probably not 3 foot long. It's probably 2 foot long. Anyway, you drive it into the ground, and then you would attach it works for wood posts. You would attach a wood post to that.
Oh.
Interesting enough, I think it I don't know that we would use it as a business, but
sure,
it might make good YouTube content. Because what I could see us doing is driving in a couple of them and then testing to see how much strength it takes to pull them over, break them, something like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's always good to look for those innovative ideas because you never know. Who was the first person that said, I'm going to plant this wood post in the ground?
That's right.
And hope for the best,
Yeah, as far as the hidden fasteners, so Jake might be a bit of a mind reader. So on the YouTube channel, so on Tuesday, I'm recording some more reaction videos. Cool. So what it is Jeremy, who's my videographer, kind of my production manager, really, goes out and finds, because I'd say, I'd like you to find some videos. I don't want to influence the videos. I want you to find them, but I want them to be videos you think that I will positively review.
Sure.
I want to get away from the negative reviews, the tearing people down. You can have you can have the tallest building one of two ways. You can either tear all the buildings around you down, or you can build the tallest building.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of building the tallest building. So, but one of those videos, so he sent me the links to watch. One of those talks about using hidden fasteners. Actually, to Jake's earlier question, using hidden fasteners on horizontal fencing.
Okay.
So
cool. I like that.
So stay tuned, Jake. Actually, the videos probably won't come out on YouTube for probably another month or so. We've got several videos, kind of backed up, ready to go. Yeah. But Jake's a bit of a mind reader.
Okay, I like it.
But that's a firm no on the helical post. Just because from a cost perspective, I mean, you would take your cost from, and so we talked about this on what does it cost to set a post, and I really think the number's roughly around $30 or $40 a post to set. By the time you figure in labor and concrete and on, I think it's about $30 or $40 a post. Well, your material cost on this helical post is $100, and then you still have to spend time installing this thing. Yep. So I mean, I think your installation cost, not counting this, the specific or special equipment used on this, I mean, it's $120 a post.
Yeah.
So you'd add $100 per post. On average, a residential yard has 30 posts. So you're going to add another $3,000 to this project, and that's cost, guys. That's not retail. So that's before you add your markup on it. Add another $3,000 to a project. You wouldn't sell any of them. I mean, you might sell one or two to someone that's just really engrossed in that technology.
Sure.
But from a production standpoint, I don't think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But good question, Jake.
Question. I like it.
Keep on bringing the fence questions. What is up, Brent?
Hi, Brent.
Brent sent me a picture. So Brent's our buddy out in California. He sent me a picture. So back in the day, now, and when people say back in the day, it's generally on a Tuesday. Sure. So this was a Tuesday back in like 2016. Brent and I did hoodie exchange, where he sent me one of his dive hoodies, and I sent him one of the Ozark Fence hoodies. But this was before we made the big color shift to orange, to the lime green one. So he sent me, he's out working in they're having some pretty big storms out there right now. Or when he sent me the picture, he was out there in a bright green Ozark Fence hoodie. So, Candace, if you're still watching, make a note for me on my desk. I need to send Brent new orange hoodies. Okay. So he can be color correct.
I like it.
So please make me that note, because I've been meaning to do that for a long time, and it hasn't got done. I just remember that. So Brent, hello. What is up?
All right.
Okay. All right. We're going to talk about this once, and then we're not going to talk about it. Okay. Well, we'll probably keep talking about it, but I don't want to. So we bought a new set of buildings next to our current buildings so that we can expand into them. And it's taken a bit of work because they weren't in the best of condition when we bought them, but they were next to us. It made sense. They have a couple shop buildings that are in really good shape. So one's a stain building. So earlier this week, we did our first dip tank where we pre-stained cedar pickets in a dip tank. Before we had used a machine, the dip tank, a lot nicer results.
Yes.
So we bought this because of these shop buildings, but it also has a pretty substantial office area.
Yeah.
The problem is built in the 50s. Well, and originally it was a house and then like an outside courtyard area and then a barn. And over the years, since the 50s, someone has connected these, and there's a hallway and like a conference room. I mean, it makes sense, but and I would almost bet this structure predates 57. 57 was the earliest plat map I could find with it on it. I'm sure if I went downtown and looked through the records, it's probably older than that, but it's at least from the 50s, this house.
Yeah.
Well, so we saw a hole in the building, like above the up high in a roof. We saw a little hole, and we had thought it was just rotted. It looked rotted, like it just rotted away.
Yeah.
So my good friend Chris sent some guys over with some zip tape and some hardy board and
patched that bad boy
it up.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. Until the next day, I look up there and like, what in the world? I thought it looked like some more had rotted because it was like saturated with rain. Eventually, this whole wall needs replaced. Yeah. But, and like the zip tape had pulled away. I was like, buddy, that tape pulled off. Yeah. We need to put some more up there. And he said, well, look closer at that picture. He said, something came out of that wall. And sure enough, when I look closer at the picture, there's bits of insulation from inside on the roof. Okay. So something has come out of this building. All right. And then yesterday, the network guys were there. Yeah. Which, if you guys need networking done, ACIS, these guys are top notch. They're doing our networking. Great guys, great price, which is nice. Anyway, they came out yesterday.
Well, you missed a crucial step.
Okay.
You missed when they came to take care of it originally. They were convinced they had.
Yeah. So here's the thing, because that's right. We saw the hole and we thought it might be a critter hole. Yeah. And so we laid traps out.
Yeah,
now we did.
Totally sure what it was.
Right.
At the time.
Right.
I don't know.
But just out of a bunch of, and one piece of this story, a ceiling tile.
Yes.
Upstairs in what's going to become the YouTube studio, a ceiling tile had like fallen and like the insulation had come out. And I'm like, that's kind of weird.
That's so weird, huh?
Ceiling tile fell. But then we saw the hole and we're like, I wonder.
Yeah.
So we put out traps. But the only thing the traps caught was a cat. It's okay. Cats are okay. They keep the mice away.
Sure.
Let the cat go.
Oh, yeah.
And then we saw this hole. So we're like, oh no. And then the network guys were there. And they were up in the attic areas running cables. They said, you won't believe what we found up there. So, well, at this point in this deal, it's pretty hard to surprise me. But, if you said you found a 32-foot anaconda, I'd be like, well, you never know.
Yeah.
No. They're like, I think you got raccoons. No. I thought we were done with the raccoons. I thought we tried trapping them. And these guys didn't know anything about that. So for someone that knows nothing to just randomly come up with the raccoons, it's like, oh, okay. Why is that? He's like, because there's raccoon droppings fresh up here. Good. So we have raccoons.
Yeah.
And so it's how do you get rid of raccoons, So one thing we're going to do, so I went online and bought a raccoon excluder for like $70, which is what it is it's, I don't know how to explain this. It's a wire mesh cage, right? It looks like a trap.
Yeah.
Except for it has a one-way door out.
Okay.
So as they go out, the door closes behind them.
They cannot get in.
Can't come back in.
See you later.
Evicted.
Yeah.
So got one of those coming. So we're going to rebuild this wall with good, strong, hardy. And then we're going to leave one hole with its excluder to go on it.
Love it.
Get on out of here.
Yep.
And then I found some, what's it? I don't even know what it is this male raccoon urine. Yeah. And here's the thing with raccoon. I've been learning about raccoons lately.
Okay.
Lately being last night. Male raccoons will destroy baby raccoons.
Yeah, they don't want
because they don't want competition.
Yep.
So if you take male raccoon urine and put it like on a tennis ball, attach it to a rope, throw it up in the attic.
Yeah.
It gets a scent up there, and then the mamas smell that and they flee.
Get on out of there.
They get on out of there's right. So
question.
Okay.
What if it is a male raccoon up there?
I had that question. And the lady at the wildlife control place did not know the answer. Because, so first, let me explain this a little bit. I ordered a different raccoon excluder because it showed as in stock on the website. I got an email this morning, not in stock. But they've got one that's twice the price that is in stock. The other one, the other one will be here in 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I'm not waiting 4 to 6 weeks to evict these raccoons. I will pay your silly money for one of these that I will use once and won't use again, but whatever. Hopefully won't use again. But I asked her, I was like, hey, I also bought this, raccoon urine. What happens if there are male raccoons up there?
Yeah.
She said, realistically, they're not.
They're not. Yeah.
So it's the moms looking for a place to nest. They will not nest near a male. So I don't know where the males live, like out. They've got a bachelor pad somewhere out in the wild, I guess. I don't know.
Well, but it's a lot like if you the one that I think about, because this is the rabbit hole I went down, like mountain lions, right? The mom and the babies until they're a certain age, like they all have, I think it's like a 60-mile roaming radius. Like they don't go far in the grand scheme of things, whereas males have a 600-mile radius. So
dang.
And those numbers are approximate, but I think it's like 10 times
significantly more.
Yeah. So where the females, they protect their babies, all of that. The males their whole job is to procreate. So that's what they're doing. They're trying to go and find that. So they probably don't even sleep.
Yeah, that's our plan. And also there's a phase 3 of this plan. Phase 1 is the excluder. Phase 2 is the urine. Phase 3 is we're going to play loud noise because they don't like loud noise.
Okay.
So if you play loud noise for a prolonged period of time, then they'll scoot too. Yeah. So that way if the urine doesn't work, and we want them out. Yeah. I don't care where they go. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Right.
Closing time for the attic.
Out of here.
So that's about it. I do like your idea of having Piper chase them out.
Yeah.
But Piper up in the attic is a scary thought too. Piper is Sarah's dog, who has an abundance of energy.
Yeah. Probably 70 pounds, 65, 70 pounds. But
you want to see some destroyed ceiling tiles.
Yeah. 100%.
She's fallen through all of them.
All of them.
So that maybe not a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah. But she certainly would make sure that they stay away.
Sure.
Max would. So what started is Joe had posted a status about this.
Yeah.
And
how do you evict raccoons?
Right.
That's what I want to know.
And I'm like, okay, and so I was a little late to the game on this and realized, we have a problem. Okay. So we had talked about the other day having like vinyl hardwoods, right? Yeah. Hardwood lookalikes. And I said, I've got this old Roomba. We can bring the Roomba in. So I pull up my John Bowdy GIFs.
Remind me a lot of John.
And I find a raccoon that is using a broom to sweep. And it is a live video. Not a live, but it is an actual video.
Someone trained a raccoon to use a broom. And I don't know how that works.
I'm not saying that I'm a great animal trainer. I have trained a few horses, all of my dogs that I've ever owned.
Yeah. But probably not a lot of raccoon experience.
But how different could it be? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, so one raccoon sweeping, great. An entire family of raccoons learning to sweep, we would not have to buy a Roomba. Just imagine you're coming in to buy a fence and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Raccoon. Let me get out of your sweeping pile.
I feel like there's a flaw in this logic. Like, I can't put my finger on it, but I feel like there's a flaw in this logic.
It might take some trial and error.
Or we can just ask him to leave.
Please get out of here. Please take your sweeping skills elsewhere.
Yep. We realize that you think this has made you a nice home, and it has for a while. Sure. I'm sure it's been nice. It was, the building was empty for like 6-7 months or something like that. But you got to go.
But we would actually like our business to live here now.
Right. Yeah. Right. We're moving in.
Yeah.
You need to move out.
Yep.
I don't really care where you go. Yeah. I mean, there's some other houses around here that look very warm. You can just go over there.
Yeah.
Just get out of here. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Very long story. And that's the raccoon story. And we won't be talking about raccoons anymore because it
never again
gives me stress.
All right. All right.
So that's a valid point, Brent. And so, that's a valid point.
I just can't wait for whoever is tuning in right now at this second that has no idea what's going on but that comment.
Big raccoon show. Big raccoon show right now. So the lady that's doing the trapping, I'm going to get with her to give us a bid on the removal of that.
Perfect.
Just because they do that. She has told me a story before about them doing that. And that way she knows how to handle everything. Yep. It'll probably be expensive, but it's better than me trying to go up there and do it and get it wrong.
Correct.
Good looking out, though, Brent. Moving on. That's a no.
That's true.
It is. It's literally like if you've seen a raccoon trap, it's literally like a raccoon trap with an open end. Like they go through it, the door closes behind them. Yeah. They can't get back in. They got to leave.
Yeah.
The problem I see with this is the babies.
Yeah.
So what I think we're going to have to do is to leave this hole, throw the male raccoon urine up there.
Yeah.
See if they'll just scamper out on their own, leave it for a few days and then put the excluder on there just to try that.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, so we'll see. It's a hard no, Candace. We are not keeping the raccoons. No wild animals are to be kept in the office or above anywhere on the property.
Yeah, or above the office.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's right. Trash pandas is correct.
That's true.
I never knew how destructive these things could be. Yeah. Like you always see them like getting into trash and stuff, but you don't think about where they go. No. And they're destructive there, and they leave messes in your attic, and that's not okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yep. What's up, Lori? Homemade raccoon repellent recipe: 1 bottle of hot pepper sauce, or 1 bottle of cayenne pepper powder. Okay. Mix it with a gallon of water and a teaspoon of dishwasher liquid. Okay. The soap helps the liquid to adhere to what you're spraying it.
I like it.
Interesting. So, Lori, do they not like the smell, I suppose? If it's a smell thing, so I like the tennis ball idea, like putting it on a rope so that you can toss it up, and then just leave it, and then pull it out. Because from what I've heard, raccoon urine does not smell great. Sure. So I wonder if you could do the same thing here. Take 4 or 5 tennis balls, make a gallon of this stuff up, put the tennis balls in there.
Yeah.
Toss them up
there. Yeah, to put them in different spots too. So
that's right. Well,
because it doesn't relocate.
Exactly. And this office it's kind of cut up and it's really long, not very wide, but really long. And so you'd want to put them in multiple places. Just like you said, I don't want them relocated within the attic. I want them out of the attic.
Yeah, don't want them to go to that little storage either. Something to think about if they do exit.
Yeah.
So we'll just put a couple tennis balls in there too.
Well, but the storage isn't heat. It is typically, it can be heated, but it's not heated right now.
No, but it is out of the elements.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
Good to know.
Taste or smell of peppers.
Thank you.
Lori's dropping some raccoon knowledge on us. Thank you, Lori.
We'll just be sure to cook something spicy once a month too, just to make sure they stay out of there.
I don't like spicy stuff though. I'm not a fan. But if it means no raccoons, maybe I could be a fan. I don't know.
You don't have to eat it.
I'm not eating it. No, I know I don't.
I refuse.
I know I don't. I am the boss of what I eat, and I say no.
I thought I was hiding. Okay. Well, big raccoon show. No.
Yeah. Big raccoon show. What do you know? So, guys, let's talk about fence for a minute because there's a novel idea. So we've been pre-staining fence boards for roughly 1.5 years, 2 years using a machine. We recently had a dip tank built where we can dip the boards. Really what it does a couple things. One, it moves the whole process inside so we can do them throughout the year, so you guys that are local know Tuesday it was cold. Wednesday it snowed.
Yeah.
Both days we were in the shop staining material. Yeah. So it allows us to stain year round. It does a better job of coating the first time through. So a lot of times with the stain machine, we'd run one through, we'd quality control it, not quite like it, have to run it through again. That gets a little bit cumbersome. So it's exactly like what it sounds. We submerge them in a bath of stain. They soak up as much as they can. We put them on a drying rack. It also reclaims a lot of that stain.
Yeah.
So that's really nice. Awesome. But we're getting the process figured out. So, our minds always go to, not always, but in the wintertime, how can we give someone an extra thank you and an extra motivation to build fence in the wintertime rather than the summer? The summertime, especially the summers we've had lately, are just, we have excessive work. We don't have enough labor, enough time, enough days in the week to get all it done. Yeah. But wintertime, we typically have some more time.
Yeah,
the schedule, whether the schedule goes from being 8, 9, 10 weeks out to 2, 3, 4 weeks out.
Yep.
So how can we say thank you to folks that do decide to build their fence in the winter? So here's what we're thinking. So for the wintertime, which typically goes through end of March, thereabouts. Yeah, I like that. First March, end of March, thereabouts. We're going to pre-stain any cedar materials for no additional charge.
Yep.
So, we typically give several prices, and then we give the price to stain it. So if it's, and the reason I say cedar materials, the treated pine materials that we bring in are still pretty wet. So they're not able to be stained until the treatment cures and dries and all that. So we can't pre-stain the treated pine. But any cedar materials used on your fence, we will pre-stain them for no additional cost.
Yep.
And as long as it's in one of the 3 main colors. Yeah. So we've got cedar, chestnut, and walnut, which is a light, a medium, and a dark in stock. We would have to figure out if it's a non-stock color.
Sure.
Just because it takes quite a bit of stain to fill up one of these stain tanks.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, if you're in the market for a cedar fence and you're thinking about having it stained, we'll pre-stain it for free.
I love it.
So 2 out of the 3. So we've got 3 options. We've got a treated pine fence on wood post.
Yep.
We've got another one that's a cedar pickets on treated pine rails, treated pine post.
Yep.
Then we've got the third option, the one we prefer to build, cedar pickets, cedar rails, steel post.
Yep.
Any of those, well, actually, so it's either option 2 or 3. Any of the cedar materials will pre-stain for free.
Yep.
So it's not just the lifetime value option. Sure. We'll also do the improved value, which is the cedar pickets on pine rails.
Yep.
Any of the cedar materials will pre-stain.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, it's easy enough too if you wanted to go back once that pine does dry and stain the 2x4s and posts. Sure. You certainly can.
Yeah, you just gotta wait for the treatment to cure out.
Yeah, because the important part is the part that everyone would see driving by would be stained.
Would be pre-stained.
Yeah. So I like that. I like that idea of saying, it's not just the higher end, lifetime versions. I like that.
That's right. Yep.
I like that a lot.
Yep. So free upgrade for the wintertime.
I like it. I'm excited. I'm really excited to see these colors out there. Which is really cool.
I am too. I think once folks start seeing stained fences as a commonplace in the market, I think it's going to take off. Yeah. So we replaced my fence this summer and replaced it with a pre-stained picket, and it still looks great, and it should still look great. But the neighbors' fences around, gray and looking old. My fence still looks great.
When did we do Tony and Kate's? Do you remember? It's been a year and a half ago, maybe?
Year and a half, yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was fall before last.
It still looks
great. Oh, yeah.
And then it got to the point where their neighbors, so it was a new build, and their neighbors hadn't even built the house yet, right? Whenever we did the fence. I think it was just an open lot. So they finally built and everything. When they moved in, they're like, you know what? We drove around. We saw everything else. We saw there were, in fact, I think they may have been the first one to have a stain fence in the newer section. And they said, we want exactly that. That's what we want. So, okay, we could do that.
It makes a huge impression.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
And as we were talking about before, it also prolongs the life of the fence. Yep. It's going to keep it looking nice, don't get me wrong, but it's also going to resist the UV damage.
Yeah.
And I always say it like this. So UV damage on your skin presents as a sunburn.
Yep.
Prevents on the wood as graying boards. So once you see your boards have turned gray or starting to turn gray, there's already UV damage there. Sure. And it's not reversible. It's not.
You can help by stopping it there.
Right.
You're right.
Right. Yeah. You can stop it there to where it doesn't go past. It doesn't continue to get damaged. But the damage is done.
Sure.
The nice thing with pre-staining fence pickets is we get those pickets coated before they go out into the sun, before they get UV damage at all.
Yeah. Yeah. So. One of the biggest benefit I see, and I actually had a customer bring this up. I said, I love that you pre-stain because when you put up a fence and then you wait for it to dry and you stain it, you don't get every single inch of it, right? You get the majority of it, but what happens, then like you can only get what is visible or what's, the backside to the 2x4. You can't get that.
No. Well, so you can't get it. The other benefit here is on shadow box fence.
Yes.
Because shadow box fence is a nightmare to try to stain. It will take you, I always say it'll take you twice as long and twice as much stain. Caleb corrected me yesterday and said, no, it'll take twice as much stain. It'll take 3 times as long. Just trying to get every nook and cranny, trying to make sure, and to do a quality job, to use attention to detail.
Yeah.
It takes a significant amount of time to do a shadow box fence. Yeah. Whereas using a pre-stained product,
no big deal.
It's the same cost as in the summertime when we're charging for that, it's the same cost as a privacy fence for the staining option.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Last in those containers.
The stain. Yeah, so the stain comes in 55-gallon drums. We mix it up with mortar mixers, actually. So there's like huge mortar mixers. I put 2 on there, clamp them down, and it turns turns it into just a rapid of stain in a 55-gallon drum. So then from there, we pump it into the dip tank. We do all the dipping, then we pump them back into that drum, excluding any of the solids that have come to the bottom, sawdust essentially. Strain that out, put it in the tank. How long will it last? I don't know, honestly. I mean, we have some stain that we've had for, I'd say we've had it for probably a year or so, maybe. And I mean, it just means you spend more time stirring it to get all of the pigment suspended again. But I don't know that it has a shelf. I mean, I'm sure it has a shelf life eventually.
Right.
We haven't found it yet.
Haven't reached it. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Reached that yet. Yes,
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. So free upgrade for the winter, and that's kind of going to be our thing moving forward. It's a win-win for everyone, right? So it's a win for the customer by getting that free upgrade to a nicer fence for the same cost as a current value fence, but it's also a win for our guys.
Yes.
So the more fence we can build in the wintertime keeps them busier, keeps them working longer and more hours.
Yep.
Everyone has bills 12 months out of the year. So it's a win-win for everyone. The company, obviously doesn't make anything on the stain. So there's that, but I'm willing to make less on a fence to keep my guys busy and to keep our customers even happier throughout the wintertime.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, we're even in the short time that we were staining the last few days, like think of how many different innovative ideas we had. We were like,
that's right.
Oh, if we do it this way, it's easier. So if nothing else, like we're getting that learning opportunity with this new tank too.
That's right. That's right. Kind of feel out the new technology and go from there.
Yeah.
You bet.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. And the nice thing is with that shop, we can pre-stain all winter long. You just turn the heat up and get you ripping.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and we've even talked about doing pre-stain lumber as retail.
That's
capabilities, which is really cool.
Absolutely.
Unique.
Yeah, I have a feeling we'll be staining a lot for production through the wintertime. Mm-hmm. I think this special is going to be pretty popular. Yeah. But I can see that in the future, in the spring, summertime, as we start getting the hang of it, start producing more than we use. Yeah, absolutely selling it retail. Yeah. So that way the do-it-yourself crowd also has a pre-stained lumber option. Yep. It uses a quality Western red cedar board. Yeah. So that's the thing is, and no names or whatever, but a lot of home improvement stores that offer pre-stained picket, what they're doing is taking their lesser quality boards, pre-staining them, and then selling them for more than a quality board because it's pre-stained. Ours, we're taking the same quality boards that we use. The Western Red Cedar has a 15-year warranty in staining that board. So a little bit different than what you'd find at some of the home improvement stores, just a better quality product.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in a lot of those home improvement stores, you have one color to choose from.
Yep.
One or two, maybe.
Yep, that's right. And who knows when it was stained and what it was stained with and all that. So
and I never see very many. And maybe that's just the time I've been there. And maybe they keep them elsewhere. I don't know. But it's always like, I see 10 pickets. I'm going, what?
Yeah, I'm sure what it is. I'm sure they can order them.
It's probably.
And then the 10 you see or the 10 that got returned from a big order or something like that.
Yep.
I would almost bet. But yeah, so we're going to keep them in stock. I mean, if you'd like to buy pre-stained fence pickets, we can also stain them on demand as well. Yeah. That's the nice thing about the tank is it takes. So we could do a pallet of lumber, which is 450 boards in about 3 hours. Yeah, thereabouts. So fairly quick process. Now you need to let them wait. You need to wait and let them dry about a day. Yeah. You don't want to take them home sopping wet. You want to leave them on the drying rack to drip dry, and then the next day when they're dry, you can certainly come pick them up. So just because we don't have them in stock doesn't mean that we can't produce them.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround time.
You bet.
Overall, so
you bet.
Absolutely.
Pretty exciting stuff. Yeah. I'm really excited about it.
I'm excited too. I'm excited to get that stain out there and just see it everywhere.
Yep.
It'll be fun.
We should have led with this. We should have led with this.
This is breaking news. Yeah, this is another newscast I should have done.
That's right. I mean, that's further goes to show we're not really like a technology company. We're a fence company. We're not like a news production company. But so maybe next week during the live, we'll announce it in the beginning.
I like it.
So let's make a deal. So how many people? We've got four people watching. So the four of you that are here, I appreciate you guys a lot. Let's do this. If you tune in next week, we'll let you ask the question, hey, what's this special I've been hearing about?
Yeah. Tell me more about this winter special.
Yeah, we'll bring your question up, put it on the screen, and then we'll answer it as if it was a
breaking news.
Yeah, John, great question.
Wow, the rumors are true.
I tell you what, breaking news. You heard it here first, which I wouldn't say that because they actually heard it here first. We'll figure out a way to say it.
You heard it here second.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, you heard it here first last week. But anyway, but yeah. So if you're one of the people that are watching next week in the live, ask us what the winter special is, and bring your question up, and it'll be a win-win for all of us. We're big on looking for win-wins. You know, Mr. Fence, Sean King always calls it a twofer. Two for one, win-win. You bet. Cool. Well, guys, we'll wrap this up. It's a little bit after 1. Of course, if you got any fence questions, drop them in really quick. I know we're on like a 30-second delay or something, so we'll give you a little bit of time. But if not, then we'll go ahead and wrap this up and call it a day, call it a weekend. But, Sarah, if someone wants to get a hold of you, ask you some fence questions, how do they do it?
Sure. Well, a couple different ways. We can, absolutely still comment on here. We keep up with comments. You can message our Facebook page.
Right.
That's another one. Or you can email me at Sarah, and that's with an H, at ozfence.com.
Yep.
I'll just take this down real quick. But yeah, absolutely. And you're
Joe
at ozfence.com.
That's right. If you got a question for me, Joe, Joe, at ozfence.com.
Yeah.
Come straight to me.
Absolutely.
So, yep. You got big weekend plans? Probably getting a house ready, it sounds like.
Yeah, well, we were supposed to do engagement photos tomorrow.
Oh.
But it's supposed to rain all day. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. We're trying to think of alternative, places maybe.
I've got an alternative for you.
Yeah.
We have a very nice stain shop that I would be willing. I keep trying. Now, I've already offered it for the wedding and wedding reception. Sure. That offer is still on the table.
Yeah.
But I would be willing to throw in an engagement photo session. You want to throw that in?
It's crazy, but I actually thought of that just because there's so many different rooms in the new building. I'm like, you could have one of the downstairs room has like white, concrete, like brick things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, I can see where
kind of looks industrial.
Cool.
Yeah.
You got a couple staircases. Like, it could be cool. I don't know. So we may just get umbrellas. I don't know.
In the kitchen, it has really nice, like, grapevine wallpaper.
That's true.
I mean, a lot of it's peeling, but
we'll just find the good spots.
That's right. I'm telling you. I wouldn't charge you much.
Okay.
I'd give you a good deal on it. Make you a good deal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it'd be you and the raccoons.
Yeah.
Have one like peeking out over your shoulder. Hey, there he is.
I like it. But yeah, what about you? You guys doing anything fun?
No, not really. I'll probably be up at the shop for a little bit tomorrow. We're trying to get the new office. Really trying to spearhead that and push that thing through. And I kind of like working on Saturdays because it's quiet.
It is.
Quiet in the office. And get a little bit more done when phones aren't ringing and people aren't coming in. And just lock the door and act like I'm not even there.
Yeah, I like it.
Yep, working. Awesome. That's about it. Got any questions?
Just comments.
Peace and love.
Peace and love to you, Brent.
Brent, right back at you. Yeah. I love that's how Brent signs off. Is peace and love.
That's cool.
I like that a lot, buddy.
Oh, let's see.
I was thinking I have a spray tan booth.
There you go.
You should just get dark stain dipper in it.
Yeah, we got a couple options for you, Brent.
So here's the thing. It doesn't stick very well because I was like a mess. The first time is always a little bit messy, right?
Yeah.
So I looked like I had a really nice tan there for a little bit, but then I washed right off.
Can we talk about that for a second too? I got it all over my shirt, like all over, and I was like, put it in the washer, got it out of the washer, gone.
Really?
Gone.
Well, you're lucky because I have
quite
a few shirts that are they're now pre-stained shirts.
It could have been the cedar tone. It could have been that one.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the red pigment, but I was amazed. I was like, okay.
Yep. Cool. Well, I'm sure if you get to it fast enough, too.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's part of it.
That was exactly it. Yeah, but
very good.
But you know what?
Brent, I would not recommend dipping people in this stain.
Not this stain.
No.
But I'm a little concerned at how much you would have to of the stain you would have to purchase to dip her in it.
It'd be probably a lot. Well,
is it a safety hazard? I don't know.
Yeah, you could probably do that for 100 gallons. 2 55-gallon drums.
Yeah. I feel like maybe she could just take like the old ice baths where you would get in the big tubs.
Uh-huh.
So maybe just get like 1/2 full and just dip yourself in it real quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the problem is it doesn't stick. That is a problem. I mean, what we're saying a problem is actually really nice for the stain guys.
Sure.
That it doesn't stain your skin.
Yeah. Maybe you're looking for more of like a paint.
Oh, like a spray paint.
Yeah. Oh, there's an idea. You don't even have to have the dip tank. Spray paint.
Brent, we're onto something here. And you could still use the same booth.
Yeah.
That way it doesn't get everywhere.
Right.
Just get Rust-Oleum
There's all kinds of colors.
Brown. Yeah, light
There's
brown
like
or
at
dark
least
brown.
like 30 different, like probably browns in Rust-Oleum.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Well, and if you go to Menards, they have their own line of spray paint.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really the possibilities are endless here, Brent.
You know what's funny? And this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but Menards. I was watching another YouTube video from a guy up north.
Yeah.
And they call it Maynard's.
You know, I had a friend in high school. His last name was Maynard. It's spelled.
He's probably from the Menards fortune.
Yeah.
Didn't even know it. Heir to the throne of Menards.
Should have known.
But yeah, I was watching his channel. I was like, Maynard's, what is he talking about? And then he had a Menards bucket. I was like,
huh.
And then I saw Menards commercials like, say big money at Menards. Like,
yeah.
Do they have commercials up there that's like, say big money at Maynard's?
Maybe.
Doesn't have the same ring to it, but.
No. What's kind of like Target and Target.
Yeah, Aldi's and Aldi's.
Yeah.
I've heard of Aldi's a lot.
Really? I've only ever heard of Aldi's. Or I've only ever said Aldi's.
Yep. Aldi's.
Huh.
Yep.
It's like a North thing, yeah.
Yep. Oh. Our way's right though. Oh, Brent.
Good. Okay.
We do have some leftover stain that I could make you a deal on.
That's true, but I feel like this time of year I'm pretty pale. So I think it would be
Problem
very
solved.
obvious.
Well, no one would know.
You don't think?
No. No. You definitely want that nice golden tan for your engagement.
Well,
pictures.
And if we do it right before the pictures, if we do the pictures at the shop,
yeah,
and I just jump in real quick with like one of those shower caps on,
correct,
or the swim caps,
or you could just dye your hair as with it. Two birds,
golden.
That's a twofer. That's a twofer.
Yeah, and then I just have them take pictures really quick.
Yeah.
Before I shower it off.
Yes.
Okay.
You'd want to style your hair like as it dries, the same dries.
Yeah, maybe
it helped lock it in.
Kaylin would love that. Kaylin would love it. All right.
All right. Well, guys.
Hope you guys have a good weekend.
Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to our ridiculous selves go on about all sorts of stuff that's not really fence related. Somewhat. The raccoon is somewhat because it's at the fence shop. So
talk a couple prices and stuff like that.
We didn't even talk about aliens once.
I know. We're growing.
Pretty proud of ourselves on that one. That's right. So tune in next week. It'll probably be all aliens or something. Like it's just the way everything works itself out. But
awesome.
But guys, for now, I'm Joe.
I'm Sarah.
You've tuned into another Ask a Fence Gal Fri-YAY. See you guys next week.
Bye, guys.